So Brandon, you're going to tell us about the CIA firm In-Q-Tel and how they're trying to influence big tech. Brandon, teach us.
Yeah, so I brought up this one specifically because me and Rob have talked about this a lot, and
You were the maniac?
yeah. So I'm excited for this one. So
take it away, boys.
In-Q-Tel, it basically. It was a venture capitalist firm that was started in 1999 by the CIA because, you know, the dot-com bubble was happening. And similar to the China thing, the CIA is not capable of, like, keeping up with the private sector and creating technology that's on the equal playing field because, you know, they're government overlord people who are trying to do things for, like, a monitored, you know, security type of way. They're not trying to create the best products. So they started this fund or this firm that would just invest money into blossoming technology companies to try to, you know, get some influence over it and be a part of it and steer the direction of where it goes potentially. And, you know, they got involved in operations like Google Earth, Palantir, so like a data collection company.
In-Q-Tel's in there for Google?
Yeah.
Oh, so they know where everybody lives and where everybody's...
the Keylock program.
Yeah.
And similar to what DARPA did with LifeLog and Facebook, and this is something that Rob knows a lot about. So,
listen, do you know this story about LifeLog?
No,
but I want to hear it now.
Okay, this is
Can you
messed
school the
up.
people on what is LifeLog real quick? For people that don't know.
So LifeLog was a program that was developed by DARPA. Okay, and if you don't know who DARPA is, it's a government agency that works on research, particularly for the Defense Department.
Gotcha.
And LifeLog is basically what we now call Facebook. It was basically the creation of Facebook by the government. They created the source code, they built it, they figured, okay, listen, how do we deploy this to the population and I'll have them give up all their information willingly. We don't even have to ask for it. It makes the surveillance state way easier. So then, hence, at DARPA at that time, who was running it or who was helping with the project, one of the PMs was Sheryl Sandberg. Who's Sheryl Sandberg? Sheryl Sandberg, pretty well known. Was she the CMO, COO of Facebook?
Yeah.
Of Facebook.
Yeah.
And this is pre-Facebook.
Oh yeah, this is pre-Facebook. This is developed by DARPA first, then deployed out. Okay, so did Mark Zuckerberg, was he the evil genius behind this? I would think
maybe,
not.
So Rob, maybe they were like, so wait, what you're saying is maybe the government was like, hey, listen, make this look cool, put it in colleges, let people, because I mean, dude, the CIA must worship him because we gave up our security. Everybody, especially during Obama, was like, I don't want them spying. And now it's almost like, why didn't you post where you were yesterday? Why didn't you post pictures of you? Facebook is your life is on there. My sister, I haven't talked to her in 2 days. I know exactly where she is, what she's eating, what she's wearing, and who she's with.
Just look at the word life log. It's a log of what's going on in
your
your life.
life.
So just if you want to be able to, you know, chart somebody where their geolocation is at all times, who they're interacting with, who they're next to, you can listen in on phones. I mean, it's about the most perfect system you could put together to surveil a population.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you guys with that, but I want you to continue your point, and then my question will come back to it.
No, so I was going to go in the direction of, you know, obviously there's an argument of this from like national security standpoint, like they're getting ahead of these things so that, you know, some wild card doesn't create the next quantum computer and, you know, have like more power than anybody else or whatever. But there's also the domestic surveillance side of it. So, like, where do you guys all fall in the sense of like understanding the POV of the CIA and like getting in on this, or do you look at it as like a bad thing that they're trying to have too much control or influence?
I mean, I could go both ways. So the reason why I would say that it's not a net bad thing is because there are extremely intelligent inventors out there that are developing things that have no business being in the hands of private citizens or of foreign governments that we don't trust, which is all of them. So, you know, if they're developing technologies that have implications on national security, I would want somebody paying attention to that. So if there's a private venture firm that is buying up these companies or seeding it and paying attention to, you know, how the technology is like being developed, I'm actually okay with that. That's not a bad thing. We should be watching what's going on. Especially with AI being rolled out right now, we've got a serious problem with, you know, the proliferation of it, and we can develop some crazy stuff really quick. It can get out of control. So some people need to be monitoring what's going on. But the inverse of that is, I don't think you can fit a cigarette paper in between a lot of the tech companies that are existing right now and our government. You know, it looks like a lot of them are private, but they all have back doors into Facebook, X, Twitter, Instagram, anyone you can mention, we have a back door into all of them, because we are collecting data. We're finding out what's going on. It's our intelligence gathering. So we really are, it's a chicken or the egg. Which one created it? What did the government create? The plan for it? Did private citizens? It doesn't really matter. Right now, it's turning into a private, security grid that we're being monitored at all times. Is it a good idea that we're going to get into a system where we could be like China and have a social credit score? That's Black Mirror on the worst, possible,
and they're doing it.
It couldn't get any worse than that.
I saw a video of China. I'll go to you. I saw a video of China. The door's locked. There's this face scan, and you have to go put your face there. If you don't have enough money, if you don't make enough money, you can't go into the store. And I'm like,
they can even prevent you from flying. Like they can prevent you from buying flights with your credit score. And if you miss a bill that like knocks your credit score, and then like, oh no, you're of a trip or you want to leave, you can't leave.
Oh my God! And they're dying, bro. They're dying to get us to that level.
Oh, they are.
That's why when I tell people all the time, like, if we just turned in our guns tomorrow, you don't think the government would grab that before you even said, hey, I'd like to? They're snatching it. And once we give up on the cash and we say, listen, guys, you know what? We know what you guys are trying to do. Let's just do it. They would jump on it, Rob,
They'll go for your guns, and then they're going to come for your kids.
That's it.
And that's not a joke.
They're already coming for the kids.
They're openly coming for the kids.
That's a whole other separate topic. But
My question would be, so it's like a VC firm that they put into other companies. So they've raised hundreds of millions of dollars. I think they said since 2018, like almost $500 million that has been within here, and they're investing in different companies. So my question would be, I don't know if I think it's probably inevitable when it comes to like surveillance. They have all our data. We have our phones on us 24/7. But when it comes to the government and these VC firms in private companies, is there such thing as a free market? Like, would we really consider it to be a free market? Because if you're that heavily influenced by the government, it's kind of juxtaposed the idea of what is a free market.
They are tipping the scales for sure.
Yeah, like it's like you'll notice like there isn't really a huge competitor to things like Facebook or like Twitter or anything like that. Once they come on, it's like they really have like the wind at their back from like it seems like an outside force.
And does the government then, when they're up there and they're like, we got to take down big tech, do they really want to, or
Are
like
you kidding me?
No.
what is the idea behind that?
Everything's a show. And the fact, and guys, this is what I do personally, because you're talking about the phones and they're listening and they know everything, every phone call, even when it's off. So when I'm on the phone, every time before I hang up, I go, I know you guys are listening, you fucking nerds. And then I hang up. I know they are.
They are.
Somebody's listening. And you nailed it.
Yeah.
What do we, guys?
What do we do? I'm one of those people that like, duck, duck, go. Taylor, what is that? I try my best.
They're watching. They're watching that too.
They already know what you're going to do before you do it. It's like when you put tape on your computer.
That's my head, I would have that.
Guess what? Guess what? When you're doing that, they're looking at you thinking,
yeah. What do you mean? My Roomba has a camera. That bitch is watching me all day.
AI is using it right now.
Well, wait, and another thing with China, I heard the ones that are from, I think they're from China, they map your entire room through the Wi-Fi and they collect all your data through Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But hopefully Brandon's right and they're weak and they can't do anything.
Well, the only thing too is, and you mentioned Google, and I'm relatively certain, if I'm not misquoting this, that Sergey Brin and Google was also given a grant from In-Q-Tel. So our biggest tech company that pretty much exists, besides Apple, was also, In-Q-Tel had a hand in this as well too.
Did you know this little fun fact, Brandon, too? This is in the world of weirdness. You know Blackstone bought Ancestry.com?
Blackstone or BlackRock?
BlackRock, I'm sorry, BlackRock. They bought Ancestry.com.
Yeah, and everyone
So
jumped
all
on
the DNA that people send in.
Oh, weird. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
You just see that China, I was going to mention this before when you were talking about China. So one of the scary things that they're I think it just came out on Monday. They said that they were extremely concerned with foreign governments, I assume they're talking about us,
obviously,
that are investing in the ability for race-specific DNA weapons.
What does that mean?
It means that they're going to develop a weapon that can target a specific race, a DNA, and take out that population.
What the hell?
That's insane.
Like I'm Middle Eastern. Like if it wanted to kill me, I'll just hear like yeah. I'm like what? You just hear salsa for Spanish people, and they all go to the salsa and then they kill them.
But yeah, white people just hear Denny's and then.
Rob, but by the way, the technology of, like, I have a friend that's in the military, can't really mention a lot about him. The stuff that he's saying that's going on right now is, so, like, I'm like, he can't really tell me, but I'm just like, come on, like, I'm always trying to, and you know what's bad when a friend looks at you and it's this look. dude.
You have
it's bad.
At this point, it's laughable that we don't have flying cars. I'm going off topic. I don't care.
No,
it's laughable that we don't have flying cars because we have the technology to do so much.
Of course.
And just to tie back into what we're talking about, like the tape on the computer and everything, we have all this technology. I feel like they want a complete reset with everything, and then they'll start putting this stuff out. Don't you think?
Have you driven on the expressway? You want people flying their cars?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Dude, I'm like, I don't know about that.
Cue the music.
Yeah. All right, guys. Brandon, thank you for scaring the shit out of everybody.
Thank you, Brandon.
To Robert.
Anytime.